Well, Canada has to stand up for their sovereignty. He's not attacking every other country saying that we're the 51st state. That will never happen. Again, we're the number one customer. We buy more goods and products off the U.S. and vice versa, by the way, than anywhere in the world. And I think we need to grow the pie per se, and create more jobs, more opportunities on both sides of the border. And that's what we want to do. I think President Trump wants to hurt the American people. It's going to cost the Americans up to $5,000 more on automobiles. It's going to cost them a few $1,000s more when these tariffs are impacted the U.S. I know the federal government and the prime minister is coming out with, I think it's over 95 pages of tariffs against the U.S. And that hurts the American people. I do not understand why he wants to attack Canada nonstop. We're the closest friends and allies. And make no mistake about it.
大家好，这里是感人四绝频道。刚才这段精彩集锦，把美加关系如今的火药味展现得淋漓尽致。加拿大政客一边怒斥关税政策，一边反复强调两国是彼此最大的客户。嘴上说要强硬反制，心里却清楚，真正被关税推高成本的，既有加拿大企业，也有美国普通家庭。更耐人寻味的是，从汽车、钢铝、石油、电力到钾肥、铀和关键矿产，这场争端早已不是简单的贸易摩擦。高度捆绑的北美供应链究竟经不经得起一轮又一轮关税冲击？当第51州的政治喊话撞上加拿大捍卫主权的强烈反弹，昔日最亲密的盟友为何越走越远？安大略省长的激烈回怼背后又藏着怎样的经济账本和政治盘算？接下来让我们走进正片，看清这场美加博弈究竟会如何发展。
Canadian leaders are lashing out at President Trump and his new threat of 50% tariffs on Canadian cars, trucks, and steel starting on January 1st.
Well, he can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. We need to throw everything in the kitchen sink at him. He's arrogant. He's cocky.
Ontario's premier is doubling down right now on his angry message to the president.
I have a lot of real estate on my so he has a lot of room to kiss my I don't respond to a dictator like President Trump, a bully like President Trump. As I said before, he's the type of guy in school that would take your lunch money one day, take your toque off your head the next day, and then steal your running shoes. But I'm not going to take any advice off a guy that's the king of bankruptcies.
Sounds like your frustration with President Trump and his tariffs policy against Canada is escalating. Would it be wiser to take the temperature down a bit right now between these two longtime great allies?
I think so, Wolf. Things got a little heated. It got a little personal yesterday between the president and myself. But I want to make a good deal for the American people, a good deal for the Canadians. And we're the two greatest countries in the world. We're each other's number one customer. And it's time to get back to the table and let's negotiate a fair deal, because it's hurting the U.S., it's hurting Canada, and we just want to make sure that we have a fair deal.
Good point.
Well, I think it's a lot of rhetoric, because we're the number one customer to 17 states, number 2 to 12 others, Ontario alone. If Ontario was just standalone, would be the third largest trading partner in the world. Canada is the number one customer, and we buy a tremendous amount of goods off Americans. 9 million Americans wake up every single morning to produce a product, a widget, or a service for Ontario. But, we're strong believers in being a sovereign country. And when President Trump wants to attack our sovereignty and attack our businesses and people in Ontario, I can't roll over. My job is to protect Ontario and Canada, and ironically, protecting the American people. President Trump ran on, lowering the cost of goods. Everything's gone up, from homes to fuel. He ran on creating more jobs. Actually, job numbers went down last month, while Ontario gained 52,000 jobs, more than the entire U.S. combined. We have a resilient economy here. We're going to keep going. We're going to continue diversifying the trade. But I feel terrible for the people in the U.S. I always say I love the U.S. I love the American people. But, states like Michigan and Ohio and Texas and Kentucky, the auto states that are manufacturing autos, it's cost the American people and the auto companies $110 billion on these tariffs. We're the number one purchaser of autos off America anywhere in the world, 400% more than anyone. And what's happening now, we're seeing a decrease in Canadians buying American vehicles, which is going to hurt the auto workers. We're the number one customer for steel and aluminum. That's going to hurt the American people. But I feel that we need to get back to the table and build as I always say, Fortress North America. We're stronger working together rather than attacking each other. It doesn't make sense.
In the last hour alone, Premier, the President Trump posted on social media that all the countries he deals with, quote, Canada is easily the most difficult and unreasonable. It's a direct quote. Canada is the most difficult and unreasonable. How do you respond to that?
Well, Canada has to stand up for their sovereignty. He's not attacking every other country saying that we're the 51st state. That will never happen. Again, we're the number one customer. We buy more goods and products off the U.S. and vice versa, by the way, than anywhere in the world. And I think we need to grow the pie per se, and create more jobs, more opportunities on both sides of the border. And that's what we want to do. I think President Trump wants to hurt the American people. It's going to cost the Americans up to $5,000 more on automobiles. It's going to cost them a few $1,000s more when these tariffs are impacted the U.S. I know the federal government and the Prime Minister is coming out with, I think it's over 95 pages of tariffs against the U.S., and that hurts the American people. I do not understand why he wants to attack Canada nonstop. We're the closest friends and allies, and make no mistake about it, Wolf, Canadians still love the American people. They love the U.S. They don't see eye to eye with the president by any means, but we love the American people, and I do as well.
And for me, as somebody who grew up in Western New York at Buffalo, right at the border with Ontario, with Canada, it's heartbreaking to see what's going on right now. We love the United States, obviously, but we also love Canada. President Trump has said the U.S. doesn't need Canada, his words, but yesterday he conceded that Canada is a vital supplier of aluminum to the United States. Listen to this.
And, selfishly, we need aluminum in this country. We don't have it. We get it all from Canada for the most part, and we need it badly.
Do you believe, Premier, that the president is intentionally trying to hurt Canadian industries like aluminum, for example?
Well, with the tariff he's applied on aluminum, you need us to continue buying steel and aluminum. You need the potash for the agricultural sector. That 90% of the potash goes down to your great farmers that we're supporting, and there's no other place to get it. If you want to get it off Russia, that's fine. Everyone wants our potash around the world. The uranium that actually gets shipped from Saskatchewan to Ontario, refined in Ontario, and then gets enriched into the U.S., not to mention the 4.1 million barrels of oil that Alberta ships down every single day. And our high-grade nickel, 65% of all the high-grade nickel that you use for your military, for manufacturing, for aerospace, comes from Ontario. I want to ship more, and not to mention the energy that we keep 1.5 million lights on in homes and businesses in New York and Michigan and Minnesota. I want to ship you more electricity. I want to send you more nickel. We want to work together.
Well, I mean, you just have to listen to the words the president says. He would like Canada to become the 51st state. We are proud and we're happy about our relationship with Americans. We like our American partners and friends, but there is a line. We are a separate country. We have our own vision for the country and for where we'd like to go, and we will never be the 51st state. The idea that the president could impose on Canada obligations about who we trade with and who we can't trade with, and then simultaneously hit us with massive tariffs and give us poor access to the American market. makes no sense. And unless you understand that he's interested in turning Canada the 51st state, and we're not.
Do you truly think that's what his intention is? Or do you think, as they have put it, it's to sort of make things more even, to help the United States even out the trade with Canada?
Well, I mean, the idea of evenness is a bit of an absurd one. I mean, we sell a lot of energy to the United States. So if you like affordable energy in the U.S., and it's questionable about whether the president likes affordable energy given his various policies, but we do sell a lot, and that causes a trade imbalance between Canada and the U.S. But in every other product except for energy, we're in a trade deficit with the U.S. And what it actually means for Americans is a new 50% tax if you're building a new home on plywood, if you're replacing your floor on veneers, if you're getting married on cut flowers, if you're going out fishing on fishing poles. It is a bizarre policy for Americans. It's going to hurt them. And unfortunately, Canada has to hit back. As much as we have friends and family in the U.S., and frankly, I feel sorry for Americans right now that they have a president that is so disinterested in their cost of living concerns and is making them a global pariah. But we have to hit back, and I think it's unfortunate because we've been friends for so many years. This relationship can be destroyed very quickly and efficiently, and the president is working on that.
Wow. Well, the U.S. Trade Representative, I wanted to let you hear what he said. He just told CNBC this morning this about the tariffs.
I think the market knows that at the end of the day, this is 5% of imports from Canada. It's 0.06% of our overall consumption in this economy. So there's no possible way it can really affect U.S. well-being, right?
So Greer says there is no possible way the tariffs can affect the U.S. well-being. Is that how you see it?
Well, Canada is the number one export destination. We're the number one customer for dozens of U.S. states. We're number two for the rest. And this is a negotiation with Canada that is just preceding negotiations with Mexico. And frankly, I think other countries are watching Canada's response. And I hope, we'll be following along. At some point, the rest of the world will say enough. In terms of hitting your number one customer with a 50% tariff and expecting that we wouldn't do the same is bizarre. So we will. The Prime Minister has been very clear, tariff American company goods coming into Canada, and we will ensure that Canadians buy from other places in response to this. I just want to give you one. We're a major lumber exporter here in British Columbia.
Yes.
Our tariff level on some wood products to the United States is 85%. That's worse access than Russia and Europe. I mean, I try to make sense of this policy in terms of our relationship with the United States and Canadians, and there's just no sense to it unless you understand the president has.
这场围绕加拿大与美国关税冲突的交锋，表面上看是汽车、卡车、钢材、铝材和能源的贸易争端，实际上却是一场关于主权、尊严、依赖与权力边界的较量。加拿大极为省长的言辞之所以如此激烈，并不只是因为关税本身，更因为他们认为美国总统正在用经济压力挑战加拿大作为一个独立国家的身份。对于加拿大来说，和美国关系密切并不意味着可以接受被威胁、被羞辱，更不意味着可以被当成美国的附属地区。从节目中的信息可以看出，美加两国的经济早已深度交织。加拿大向美国供应石油、天然气、电力、铝材、钢铁、镍、油和钾肥。美国的汽车、农产品、工业设备和各种消费品也大量进入加拿大市场。无数企业的生产线横跨边境，一件汽车零部件可能在两国之间来回流转多次，最后才成为一辆完整的汽车。这样的经济关系本质上不是简单的买卖双方，而是一套彼此嵌套、共同运转的产业体系。因此，关税从来不是由对方单独承担的代价。美国对加拿大商品加征关税，看似是在向加拿大施压，最终却很可能通过成本上涨，转化为美国消费者需要支付的更高价格。房屋建筑、汽车制造、能源供应、农业生产，甚至日常生活中的木材、地板、鲜花和渔具都可能受到影响。企业成本上升，商品价格上涨，通胀压力加大，利率和就业也可能受到牵连。加拿大同样无法毫发无损，因为两国经济联系太深。 任何反制措施都会反过来冲击加拿大企业和民众，这也正是关税政策最矛盾的地方。政治口号往往把贸易说成一场零和博弈，好像一方多赚，另一方就必然受损。但在高度融合的经济体系中，真正的情况却是，一旦供应链被人为切断，两边都会付出代价。美国需要加拿大的能源和关键矿产，加拿大也需要美国的市场和工业能力，双方不是谁单方面施舍谁，而是长期合作形成的现实利益共同体。把最大的客户当成敌人，把重要的供应商当成对手，最后损害的很可能正是本国工人、企业和消费者。节目中反复出现的一个关键词是稳定。企业需要稳定的政策环境，工人需要稳定的工作，家庭需要稳定的物价，两国边境地区更需要稳定的贸易往来。可是当关税威胁、社交媒体攻击和充满羞辱意味的政治表态不断出现时，市场最先失去的就是确定性。企业不敢投资，供应商不敢扩大产能，消费者开始改变购买选择，盟友之间多年积累的信任也会在一次次冲突中被消耗。更值得注意的是，争端已经超越了经济层面。当加拿大被称作美国的第几州，当加拿大的主权被拿来开玩笑，当两国之间具有象征意义的地理名称也被卷入政治争执，这些表态即使不一定立即改变现实，却会深深刺激加拿大人的民族认同。对一个国家来说，经济利益可以谈判，贸易条件可以调整，但国家是否独立，人民是否拥有决定自身未来的权利，往往是无法退让的底线。加拿大方面的强硬回应也说明一个现实，一个国家越是依赖某个主要市场，就越需要在关键时刻建立替代方案。加拿大出口高度依赖美国，这种依赖在繁荣时期能够带来便利，但在政治关系恶化时也会变成脆弱点。因此，加拿大提出拓展其他贸易伙伴，发展关键矿产，加强能源和产业自主，并不只是情绪化反击，而是在提醒自己不能把全部命运压在单一市场之上。真正有底气的合作应该建立在相互需要、彼此尊重和选择自由的基础上，而不是建立在一方可以随时掐住另一方命脉的结构之上。当然，加拿大的反制措施也不是没有风险，对美国商品征税、抵制美国品牌、限制部分资源出口，确实能够制造压力，但也可能推高加拿大国内价格，伤害本国企业，甚至让普通民众承担冲突成本。所以，强硬并不等于失控，反击也不应该成为目的本身。真正成熟的国家战略是一方面明确表达底线，另一方面保留谈判空间，一方面做好最坏打算，另一方面努力避免局势滑向全面对抗。节目中有人提出建立北美堡垒，这个说法值得认真思考。面对全球供应链重组、能源安全、关键矿产竞争和日益激烈的国际博弈，美国、加拿大和墨西哥本来可以通过更紧密的合作，形成更具韧性的北美产业体系，共同保障能源供应，共同建设交通和制造网络，共同开发关键矿产，共同应对外部竞争，显然比彼此加税、互相威胁更符合三国的长期利益。真正强大的北美不应该靠吞并和胁迫来实现，而应该靠规则、信任和互惠来巩固。这场冲突也给其他国家带来启示，国际关系中实力当然重要，但实力如果缺乏克制，就可能把合作伙伴推向对立面。经济手段当然可以用来谈判，但如果把关税当成万能工具，最终可能损害自身信用。一个国家真正的影响力不仅来自他能对别人施加多大压力，也来自别人是否愿意继续相信他、依赖他，并在关键时刻与他站在一起。归根结底，加美之间的矛盾未必会立刻摧毁两国人民之间长期形成的友谊，但它已经让很多人开始重新思考，所谓最亲密的盟友关系究竟应该建立在什么基础之上？是建立在单方面的服从上，还是建立在平等和尊重上？是只看眼前的贸易数字，还是同时考虑产业链、民生和长远信任？答案将决定两国关系未来是走向修复，还是走向更加深刻的疏离。对于普通观众来说，我们或许无法决定关税政策，也无法左右大国领导人的言辞，但我们可以看清这些政策背后的真实代价。每一次贸易战的口号背后，都可能是企业的订单、工人的收入和家庭的生活成本。国家之间的较量最终往往会落到普通人的餐桌、账单和工作岗位上。希望两国决策者都能明白， 真正的胜利不是让对方付出更大代价，而是让自己的人民拥有更安全、更稳定、更有尊严的生活。你认为加拿大这一次的强硬反击是维护主权的必要选择，还是会让两国关系进一步恶化？面对高度依赖美国市场的现实，加拿大应该继续谈判，还是加速寻找新的贸易伙伴？欢迎把你的看法留在评论区，也欢迎点赞订阅，继续观看更多精彩视频。